Hey, what's poppin'? I'm Elliot, a software engineer from Singapore, and today I'm gonna try something super new, which I've not seen people do on YouTube before, which is I'm gonna try to speedrun building a micro-SaaS from scratch. So let me just showcase what I'm gonna be building today, right? We're gonna basically log in. It's going to be an AI SEO block generator micro-SaaS. So let's log into the account, and what you're gonna see is you have a bunch of blocks where you can generate with AI, right? So first, you can see there's this super nice dashboard interface, right? We have implemented billing and there's profiles. The main point here is you can have different projects, right? And let's say we create a new project called YouTube, and what we're gonna do is we can generate blog posts dynamically with a theme. So we can say, let's say you want to generate YouTube thumbnail optimization, right? I say the brief description of the list of articles on the generate is how to make world-class thumbnails. I can choose the amount of blog posts I want to generate. By default, because I'm a non-pro member, I can only generate 3 at a time. But if I upgrade to a pro membership with Stripe, I can generate more at one time. So I can choose 3, and let's say I'm gonna generate a sarcastic 3 sarcastic blog articles. I'm gonna generate titles. What this does is it's going to give me 3 suggested topics, like the titles. If I don't like them, I can change the theme. I can press regenerate again, and this is gonna generate me another 3. And if I say I like this, like how to make thumbnails so good even your ex will click on that. That's pretty interesting title. I'm gonna press generate blog post. And what this does is it kicks off some AI processes, and we're gonna be using a special API today where the AI will go out into the website internet, search out and do research on these articles and generate it dynamically for us so that blog articles are interesting and SEO friendly to boost your site even more on the SEO side. So, and you can see that it comes back super fast, right? We get these images, right? And you can see the titles being generated. We can click into one of them, view block, and what this does is it brings us to the markdown file that it has generated for us, right? And it says what your thumbnails, and we get this super nice, well-researched article. And we can see that it even links to other articles because it does the web research on the web. So it crawls the internet and finds relevant articles for us to do that. Right, you can see it follows a very structured kind of blog article, right? The power of simplicity, captivating colors, right? And it just links to all the research. So this is a very legitimate way to publish SEO optimized blog articles for your site, right? You can edit them and you can preview them and you can save them, right? And what you can do is you can upgrade to a pro version of this, right? If I press upgrade and I enter my email address 4242, so this is a test account, right? Like this. Test account, and I'm gonna press subscribe. So this subscribes us automatically to Stripe and upgrades us to a pro version. So in a while it's gonna press processing. I can now see that we have finally upgraded to the pro plan. And now that we're on the pro plan, we can see that if when we generate a new blog article, you can see that you can generate up to 5 articles at once now. So we're gonna implement all of this, and we're gonna speedrun this. So there's not gonna be much explanation. It's just me starting from scratch, building this entire micro-SaaS out. Hopefully, I'm aiming for a 20-minute mark, 20 to 30 minutes. Let's see if I can do it in below that time. And so the plan is I'm gonna be using this starter kit that I've developed, right? So this starter kit contains everything you need to actually start like bootstrapping a micro-SaaS. Okay, so the plan is we're gonna use the starter kit that I've built here. That's built on NextJS. Includes Stripe, includes Slack integration, authentication, email link, file storage, everything set up for you. All you have to do is clone the repo and insert the keys into your project to start building your actual SaaS. So then we're gonna set up the database and clerk. We're gonna be using a special API for the web research called Tavily, right? Which I'll show you later. We're gonna then write the APIs to generate the blocks and be able to edit them. Finally, we're gonna integrate Stripe payment and deploy this. And hopefully, I can do this all around 20 minutes. So let's see if I can do it in 20 minutes or so. So what is this Tavily API? So this Tavily API it allows us to connect our LLMs to the web. So it will generate articles, titles. It's gonna then take the title. It's gonna go out into the web to find similar research on that title. We're gonna then consume all this context, feed it into GPT-4, and GPT-4 is gonna then generate all these blog articles with links to this relevant research. Make sense? Okay, so without further ado, I'm gonna have this timer on so you can see that I'm gonna be live coding. There's not gonna be much cutting of this or editing of this video unless I'm trying to block out some private keys. But then I'm gonna bring you through everything from cloning the starter kit to deploying everything in hopefully 20 minutes or less. So hopefully we can do that, and let's begin. Okay, before we continue actually building that SaaS application, right, I'm gonna just explain to you the game plan and the actual data architecture before we actually start building. So we're gonna use Tavily, as I said, to do research on the web, and let me show you how to use it. It's super simple. You can just do cons research equals to Tavily.search, and you can search a topic. So let's say global warming and its effects on our generation, right? I'm gonna do is I'm gonna console.log out this research, and we're gonna see what we get. Yeah, so bun run source/lib/Tavily. So what it's gonna do is, okay, I need to await this, of course. Run this. I should be able to see the list of websites that it researches on. So we can see that this is a query we passed in, right? We are able to see the results. The results is a list of URLs, and so this URL, if you check it out, it's going to show me a relevant research article on based on my query. And it also returns us with the content and the raw content of it if we specify. So if I say include raw content, it's going to return us with the raw content of everything here in the blog article. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass in all these research articles into my ChatGPT prompt, so that whenever it generates a blog article, it will reference these links and articles to generate a very factual and a very sophisticated blog articles instead of just hallucinating information out of thin air, right? And you can do this with anything. So I can say how to make a good microSaaS, pass in like this. So if we run this again, we should be able to see that it gets back a list of what research he has done. So what is microSaaS and how to create one in 2024, 71 tools research for microSaaS founders, right? We can look into the blog articles. So it's gonna just take in everything within the code, the context we're gonna put into ChatGPT, and then it's gonna generate the high quality blog articles. So this is the kind of high level API design that we're gonna be using later on when we actually design the SaaS application. Cool. Alright, so let's begin. I'm gonna start the timer. I'm gonna just speed run through this. So starting the timer. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up my terminal. I'm gonna go into my coding file. I'm gonna do git clone start SaaS. I'm gonna put it into quillmatic-youtube. It's gonna clone into my repo. So this copies the start SaaS starter kit into my local repository. I'm gonna go into quillmatic-youtube, open up in my cursor. So I'm gonna be using a lot of AI stuff today. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is go back into my browser. I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna go down to NeonDB as well as Clerk. So I'm gonna start up the new keys. So first thing I'm gonna do is gonna go in here. I'm gonna set up a new database. Let's go in here, create a new database. Let's call it quillmatic-youtube. Press begin. So let's copy this snippet into our code .env. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clone this down first to make a .env file, and then I'm going to just copy my database credentials. Okay, I'm gonna close this terminal. I'm gonna come down to database URL, replace it like this, go under my clerk. I'm going to go into my dashboard. I'm gonna create a new account here. So create application, quillmatic YouTube, email and Google is fine. I'm gonna press continue. This is gonna give me my keys, which I'm gonna copy, come back down into my env. I'm gonna replace my clock keys like this. I'm gonna run sudo bun install. So this installs the dependencies for the starter kit. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is come on, bun prisma db push. So this pushes the kind of schema up to there. So we already defined the database stuff for the files, for the users, everything. Now I'm gonna run sudo bun dev. So this startups my development server. Come down to localhost 3000. I should be able to see the cloned starter kit down into my repository right here. Come on, load. Cool. And so I see this. I can press view demo. So this logs me in, and I should be able to just sign up with Google. And I'll just choose this account. And so this hopefully uses the new clerk application and logs me in. Nice. and let's see. Okay, and there's an issue. So what I'm gonna do is I need to set one more thing up here. So go into my .env, go into my upstash token, just replace this, and then if I come back down here, I should be able to see the projects showing up in a moment. Cool. And now I should be able to create a project, first project. So everything here you can see is already built in for me. I can create projects, right? So I got this sidebar, I can send emails, I can upload files, right? I got S3, I got AI integration, the billing, everything is set up. So now let's actually build the actual fundamental concept of blocks and projects. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come down to my sidebar.ts. I'm gonna remove some things that I don't need. So I don't need this landing page, I don't need this features section. So you can see it's super customizable. I can just delete the stuff that I don't need and it updates instantly here. I'm gonna come down to my page, my dashboard page here that controls this onboarding form. I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna just return h1 that says block list here, and this should replace. Cool. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a button to allow me to create blocks. So first thing, I'm gonna come into my schema.prisma. I'm gonna create a concept of a block article, and what this is gonna have is the ID, right, the string, the title, the content, right? This should be fine, and is linked to a project ID. So each block belongs to a project. Go into here, I can say blocks. I'm gonna save this, come down here, and I'm gonna do sudo ban prisma db push. So this pushes the block table up to the schema. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is come down here. I'm gonna have a block list component, so this lists out everything. So I say block list.tsx, use client tsrafce, so block list. Right, I'm gonna import it here, save this. So if I come back here, I should now have a block list component here. So if I bring it down to my code here, second, so I see the block list component. That's awesome. So inside the block list, I'm gonna create a form. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just have a button. So actually I want to have I'm gonna use cursor, generate me a button that opens a modal with a form inside. The form should contain the name, the theme of the blocks, description, number of blocks to be generated, and the writing style. Press submit. So I'm gonna use AI to just help me craft out the nice. Come on. So this is really a showcase of what AI can do. If I save this, if I come back here to my browser, I open, cool, I see enter the block theme, description, number of blocks, and select a writing style. Cool. So I'm gonna come back here. I think there's some weird, yeah, I don't want this. So it's now wider. That's awesome. So the writing style, I'm gonna just, yeah, it's fine. So one more thing I'm gonna do is come down to my thing. I'm gonna create a block.ts. So export cons block router equals to create grpc router. I'm gonna say get blocks, right? So protected procedure. Let's get the context. So not this, but where input. So we're gonna get it based on the project ID. We need Zod in here, and then input project ID like this. Cool. Okay, and now if I select casual number blocks tree, that's fine. And then I'm going to set up OpenAI api.platform.openai.com. Cool. I'm gonna create a new secret key, YouTube, chromatic, get this API key, AI, save this, right? One more thing is I'm gonna just have my Tavily, I'm gonna copy in my Tavily API key as well, so that I can use it. So my Tavily API key should be, let's see, copy here, I'll delete this later on, but nice that we have that. So I'm gonna create a new library called OpenAI here, openai.ts, and also I'm gonna create a Tavily.ts. So this Tavily.ts is going to hold the logic to actually to actually do the web search. So I'm gonna install OpenAI-H. We need at Tavily/core. Cool. I'm gonna import Tavily from Tavily/core. Const Tavily equals to Tavily. Right. TVL equals to, and passing in the API key to be process.env API key. I'm gonna turn to OpenAI. So this is the actual implementation of the AI logic they want to do first. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have import from OpenAI-H. So I need a few things. I need configuration as well as the OpenAI API. Okay, I'm gonna export const OpenAI equals new, passing in the OpenAI key, right? Export const generate topics. So it's gonna generate a list of topics. I need the theme, which is with a string, description, which is also a string, right? Right, what I'm gonna do is just delete this. Right, and then we also need a writing style, which is a string, and the num topics, which is a number. Cool. And I'm gonna just try to do this. GPT for all makes sense, your helpful assistant that generates topics for a blog post given topic and description theme. Right, I'm gonna have a user role. I'm gonna say theme, description, number of topics, right? And then I'm gonna give it a response format of JSON object, so it returns me in JSON, right? I'm gonna say respond in JSON format of titles is a string. So what this is gonna generate me back a JSON response. So I'm gonna say const data equals to like this. I'm gonna say return JSON.parse, right? What I'm gonna do is data.choices, right, .titles as a list of string. Cool. And then I'm gonna do export const generate blog post equals to, I'm gonna take in the title, right, and the style. So this is after we have generated the list of titles. We're gonna call this functions asynchronously on all it. So I'm gonna get the context, which is await tvly.search. So what this does is searches the internet based on the title, right? And then I'm gonna do is response equals to this, right? I'm gonna ask it to create a prompt to write nice blog articles, right? So I'm gonna ask it to meta prompt, right? I'm gonna do is just accept this. For the messages, I have a list of messages I can pass in here. So it's I'm gonna follow this general guideline. I'm gonna ask you to respond in a JSON format like this, and the same thing here. And then we can do this content as string. So this returns us a string, which is the final output of this stuff. So now that we have these two stuff, we can actually go into our blog.ts. So this is we're gonna say we want to get topics, right? This is gonna be protected procedure, right? I'm gonna say take in project ID, theme, description, number, and style, then generate topics and return. Cool. So come on, style, cool. Accept this. Generate topics come from this function that we have written, right? So let's just test this out first, right? If I come in here, I'm gonna go down to block list, right? We're gonna see this. I'm gonna console.log out everything here. So if we then submit, hopefully we can see something happening. So test generate. So if I generate, I should be able to see the console. Cool, I get the stuff here. Nice. And then I'm gonna then do const get topics equals to API dot block dot get topics. So I need to add it to my block router, in here num topics, so parse int, right, and the project ID I can obviously get it from the project switcher. So I'm able to get the value. So I use local storage to get this. I get the value, which is the topic, the project ID, like this. Cool. And then use query. It shouldn't be use query, it should be a mutation dot input dot mutation, right, I say dot use mutation, then I'm gonna say mutate, then on success I'm gonna refetch. So this refetch comes from the custom refetch hook that I've written, like this, and then I'm gonna say set, like this. Yeah, this should be fine. And then this button will come down here. When you submit, we're gonna say generate titles is loading, equals to get is pending, and now here I'm gonna show display the get topics.data in a nice list. So we're gonna get the data of the mutation. We're gonna just show it like this. So hopefully if I say YouTube like MicroSaaS Y MicroSaaS, let's do 3 formal. So let's look at the error. So we're gonna get that what's this error? Let's see. So no API key is provided. So let's look at this Tavily again. So let's go into our env, Tavily API key, OpenAI. Let's make sure that we have this OpenAI API key. OpenAI. Let's try again. Generate titles. So it's gonna hit that. We can now see that we got the 3 generated topics. Cool. And then what I'm gonna do is come down here. So if obviously if there is get topics.data, right, what I'm gonna do is just come down here. I'm gonna say generate blocks, right, and this is gonna be a type of button, generate blocks, and then on click I'm going to generate the blocks. So for this I'm gonna say generate blocks. It's going to take in the project ID, the titles, and the style, obviously. So I'm going to take in the list of titles, like this, generate blog post, right? For generate blog post, I'm going to do const blocks equals to await promise.all titles.map async titles array.string async title, let's see, const content equals to await generate blog post, passing the title and the style, return title and content. So now we have to write this into our database. So blog post equals await cdx.db.blog article.create many. The data will be blocks.map, passing in like this, block title content, and then we got the style. It's okay, we have no style. So what I'm gonna do here is finally we can get this mutation out. So this creates the actual blocks, block create blocks, generate blocks. Let's call this generate blocks as well. Let's copy this. I'm gonna say when I click on this button, I'm gonna do generate blocks mutate. I'm gonna pass in the list of titles here. On success, I'm gonna refetch. I'm just gonna say cool, and then I'm gonna do a toast dot success block generated successfully. Cool. And then one thing I can do is I'm gonna have a control const open, set open, like this. When I click on this button, right, generate blocks, it should open, and then when I do that, I'm gonna say close the things. And then one more thing here, after we have this, we're gonna just do, we're gonna get the list of blocks. Const blocks equals to get blocks, like this, right? Equals to project ID on now. Project ID, right? Obviously it has to be here. And then I'm gonna say blocks.map, passing the title and the content. So if I now press generate blocks, right, I have a project, I say YouTube MicroSaaS, Y MicroSaaS. I'm gonna generate 3 of these. Casual, I'm gonna press generate titles. I should see this. I'm gonna press generate blocks. And so this is gonna kick off the function in the backend. So let's see. Hopefully something should be happening. Get blocks can redefine. That's normal. But what I'm really looking for is this. So when I click on the generate blocks, I want to see it. Generate titles. Here type button. Angle is loading. Like this. Generate blocks. Okay, so this should then generate our blocks. And let's look at the error that occurs. Why is it not being called? Get blocks is fine. We didn't got get many. Okay, so I know why. We probably have to reset this. So just reset the server and this should run. So I think this Prisma needs to be updated properly, right, to make sure that we can run this, so that it can read in the Prisma data, the tables. So I'm gonna say MicroSaaS again. Y MicroSaaS. I'm gonna have 3. I'm gonna have a humorous, generate titles. After I generate titles, I'm gonna generate blocks. So what this does is it's gonna hit the Tavily API. It's gonna get it. So let's see the issues. Cannot read undefined of 0. So let's go into our project of something wrong with our function here. Await data dot choices. Let's look at what is causing this issue. Response.json, create check completion here, and then data.choices, index 0, the message or content. Right, we're asking you to generate in response content string like this, response format. This looks to me type JSON object, type JSON object. Okay, let's try again. Let's see if it still fails. Maybe sometimes the AI is undeterministic. No, there's an issue. Let's see the issue here. Reading 0, data choices, await. Interesting. Why is this causing an issue? The message or content, await data. Like this. Data the choices, index 0, the message or content. This should work because I'm returning. So let's just log data. Let's look at the issue. It's not supported with this model. Oh, I know why. Oh, mini. So I need to use this model to make it work. Like this. Okay, now this should work. So it's gonna generate blocks, and it's gonna return a successful message, and it's gonna refresh the page and load in the block articles, which we'll see. So it's gonna hit the API, right? It's gonna go out to the internet and search for the articles, and it's gonna return us back with the results. Generate blocks. And then let's see. So it's probably compiling and hitting the API. Cool. And now we can see it. We can see the titles and the content, but obviously we don't want to just flash the content up on the screen like this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come down here. So the block list, what I'm gonna do is I want to return a nicer UI. So the nicer UI would involve having a, let's see. So I'm gonna return a div. I'm gonna say put in a nice card format, show the title with a link to the slash dashboard slash block ID, like this. So we're gonna look through our blocks and display a nice title, read more, Cool. Link. Yeah, let's import this. And now we should be able to see this. Cool. I'm gonna press read more. It's gonna bring me to this blog page. So I'm gonna create the route here. So /dashboard/blog. And then I'm gonna say blog ID page.tsx, like this. Cool. So inside the block details, I'm gonna just do tsrefce block detail. I'm gonna have the params. I'm gonna get the block ID out of this params. I'm gonna have a block ID. I'm gonna display the block ID for now, like this. Cool. I see the block ID here. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a block editor.tsx, and this will be a client component that would actually display the block editor. Cool. It's gonna take in the block ID like this. I need a function to get the block by ID like this. Cool. I'm gonna say data block equals to API dot block get block. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm gonna just display the block.title, and I should see the block.title showing up here. Let's see. So obviously I need to go in here and go return block editor. I should see the title showing up here. Cool. And now that I got this block title, I'm gonna download another package to actually display the markdown. So I'm gonna do UIW/React Markdown Editor. Cool. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say import MD editor like this at UIW like this. I'm gonna say editor. I'm gonna say display the markdown editor and allow them to update the block like this. Header update. Cool. So now hopefully we can update the block like this. But take toast, right? Const refetch. Actually no, it's fine. Save it like this, and I should be able to see it. And the reason why I don't see it is because I don't have the right styles. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do flex 1, right? We have the title, but it's okay because we just want like this. Flex 1 height full with full. Let's save this and let's see if it shows up. Loading. Cool. Nice. So now I see this showing up here. I can edit it, right? I can edit this, right? And what I'm gonna do is I don't want to just update it every time, right? I probably just want to do content, set content, right? Go import the state like this. Import React from React. Cool. I'm gonna say that on use effect, every time I fetch it, I'm gonna update the block content. I'm gonna say content like this, and then I need to have a block. I need an update block function. Update block takes in the block ID, updates the content, returns it. Finding like this. Handle update. I need a button here. A button here. Update like this. Save this. On click, it updates the content. So hopefully now I can see test. Right, I'm gonna press update. Block updated. I'm gonna add a height here. I'm gonna say that is loading equals to update is pending. Cool. And now I should be able to see test working. Update, it updates. If I come back here, I can now see that this works as well. So one more thing is I want to show a nice block image in replacement of that. So I'm gonna do here is I'm going to just get this in here. So let's see if I can do this. So I'm gonna do is I'm literally just going to have this blocks.map like this blocks.data.map, and then I'm gonna show this pixem.photo, and what this does is shows a placeholder image that's seeded to the image of the block title. So it's always gonna be the same image for each, right? And lastly, I'm gonna just add a height for. So now we can see this works, and they can go into the block, right? They can view the block, they can edit it, and can see the dashboard. So the last part here, we got like a few minutes left, which the ability to upgrade to Pro. So I'm just quickly gonna go to Stripe here, and one thing I'm gonna do here is just quickly go to Vercel and deploy this. So I'm gonna do sudo remove -rf fr.git. So this basically removes the git connection, git init, git add all, git commit-m initial commit, right? GitHub repo create. So I'm gonna create a new repository, push it up here. I'm gonna Qmatic YouTube. Let's put it under this test private, and I'm gonna push it up. Nice. Go down to Vercel, add a new project. We're gonna search for Qmatic YouTube, import this. I'm gonna import all my env files, right? Like this, boom, boom, boom. And then the NextJS URL is probably gonna change to HTTP SS qmatic-youtube.vercel.app. Everything else should stay the same. I'm gonna press deploy this, go back to my Stripe account, go to my dashboard. I'm going to speedrun this. Come on. Almost there. We're gonna create a new account called qmatic-youtube, set this up. I'm going to then come down here to my Stripe library. So I need to change a few things here. I need to get the user who is going to subscribe here. I'm going to change the mode to subscription, and comment this back in, and then that should be there. I'm going to save this, come down to my developers, get my API keys. So get my publishable key, go into Stripe, publishable key, then my secret key. Come on. We're closing in. Stripe secret key, like this. And then I'm gonna quickly just create a webhook that just link, cause I know, right? Let's go look at my Vercel. I know that it's gonna be linked to my new domain. Right, come on. I'm just gonna assume the project name is gonna be qmatic-youtube.vercel.app, like this. I'm gonna listen to all events. Just quickly do that. Press add events, and then they should be there. At endpoint, cool. Review signing secret. Copy this in, like this. I'm gonna take all this tree, go down to my Vercel. Let's see if we finish building. And it's gonna say that, okay, it's still building. But what I'm gonna do is come down to my env variable, come down to my functions first. I'm gonna update to Singapore. Save this. Come down to my environment variable, update my Stripe keys. So where's my Stripe? Let's edit this. Stripe webhook secret will be this. Copy this. Save. We need the publishable key. Edit this. Save. Stripe secret. Edit this. Save. And boom. So this should be done. And then one more thing is I need to create a new product. Create product. I say Qmatic Pro. I'm gonna say is a recurring 20 is fine. Add product, and then I'm gonna look into the price ID. So let's look at the price. Let's get up to the like this. We have the price ID here, and then I should be able to copy this price, come into my Stripe config, replace everything here. So production, let's just do like this. So because I only have one price ID, this should be fine. Deploy, push this up, cool. And so now this it should have automatically deployed here. Let's see. So deployed 2 minutes, and I should see another deploy kicking off. So in 2 minutes we should be able to see it happening. So let's look at the deployment URL to see if I'm correct. So deployment quillmatic-youtube.vercel.app, and hopefully we should be able to see it. Cool. I'm gonna press view demo to log in. I should be able to sign up with Google. I actually should be able to sign in with Google to see the same accounts I have. Okay. Log in. I should be able to see my blogs and my projects. Let's give it a second to load because I know that the database needs to connect to the database. Let's give it a while. So I think it's gonna fail until this deploys. Okay, I see it. So I see my first project, and now I see the list of blogs here. Cool. I can go into the blog and I can edit it and I can see it. Okay, so cool. This thing works perfectly. So my dashboard works. My billing also works. Cool. So now the last thing is I just need to wait for this to deploy, and this should push the Stripe thing up so that I can then update here. So one more, the last thing here to add authorization, right? So I'm gonna go into my blog list. Come down here, I'm gonna have a hook that I've written called use subscription status to tell you whether the customer is subscribed. We're gonna get the is subscribed hooked. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna say number of blogs, right? If not subscribed, okay, just highlight this. If not subscribed, max 3. Is subscribed, max 5. So let's see if cursor can help me write this code. Cool. We set the max amount, right? And it's doing this. So right now I can see that if I'm not subscribed, it's gonna say that free users can generate up to 3 blocks. So later on, after I subscribe, I should be able to generate 5. And so I'm gonna come down to the blog.ts. I'm gonna validate this logic on the backend as well. When I press generate blocks, I'm gonna get is subscribed equals to await check subscription status, await get subscription status, right? I say if is subscribed, right? I say if it's not subscribed, and if the input dot titles dot length greater than 3, I'm gonna throw an error. If subscribe and is more than 5 titles, I'm gonna just throw an error again. So now this validates both on the front end and the back end. So let's push this up as well. So this just allows us to do authorization based on whether they are subscribed to Stripe. Cool. And so we can now see that this is deployed. If I refresh this page, right? So right now you can see that we have this upgrade to Pro thing here that's showing up. So if I press upgrade, it's gonna throw an error. Oh, it's not, surprisingly. Okay, now we can see that we can see Quillmatic Pro, right? I'm gonna press here. 42424242. This. And if I subscribe here, I should be upgraded to the Pro plan immediately, right? Because everything, all the webhooks are set up for Stripe. Cool. It redirects us. And let's see, because it says cool. One more thing here. So let's look into the logs to double check everything. So it's saying that no key specified. Auth, what's this? Oh, it's fine. That should be okay. And then it's gonna show up basically here. Cool. So waiting for this, the last deployment to go through to verify that everything is working, right? Wait, so actually one more thing is we forgot to set up the webhook in here. So going to developers, the webhook, this endpoint should be updated, right? Because it's not here, this is actually wrong. So let's come in here, add an endpoint, quillmatic-youtube.vercel.app/API/webhook. So this is what Stripe subscription /webhook/Stripe subscription, right? And listen to all events, add events. And then we can then add the endpoint here. Then this gives us our new signing secret that we need to update Vercel on. So settings, env variable, webhook secret. Let's update webhook secret. Save. Boom, boom, boom. And now let's redeploy this. So let's see if we can hit the 40-minute mark. Redeploy. Yeah, I think that should be all. So once this redeploys, what we're gonna finally see is we'll be able to subscribe to the webhook is going. The Stripe is gonna send us a webhook whenever they subscribe. We're gonna then create a new row within the database for everything, and we can see whether they're subscribed. So if I go Prisma Studio, I should be able to see the list of stuff. So I can see the blog article. We have 3 right here, right? It belongs to each project individually, right? And then obviously we have the project that shows up here as well. Cool. So now let's just wait for the deployment, and hopefully we can finish in sub 40. I think sub 40 is pretty good. And that's cute. Building 44 seconds. Come on, come on, come on. Right, so it's gonna just generate the Prisma client. It's gonna download the dependencies and deploy this for us. So if we can do that, we can finally get the projects working, the blocks working. We can edit the blocks, etc., etc. So come on. So it's deploying the outputs. So let's see. Building. Almost there, almost there. Cool. And so if we refresh this, I'm gonna press upgrade again. So hopefully after I subscribe here, this will be correct, and I should see the upgrade thing work. Subscribe. Come on. So it's gonna create a new user subscription row in our database, which I've already set up in the starter kit. Processing done. Go back there, so you can already start processing payment, and done. You can see the upgrade is gone. We can now see we are on the pro plan. If I come down to our dashboard, I'm gonna press generate blocks. I can now see subscribed users can generate up to 5 blocks. That means I am successfully subscribed, and in the Stripe account I can finally see my money coming in, 40 bucks. Cool. Awesome stuff. So we did it in exactly 40 minutes or so. Super happy. So now this thing is deployed to chromatic.youtube.forsell.app. That's awesome. Okay, awesome. So if you've reached to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. And so just a reminder, you can get the starter kit that I've used in this application to help you really scale your MicroSaaS up to a 5K a month revenue generating product, right? And what this does is it gives you a lot of features out of the box so that you don't have to worry about all these minutiae details. Instead, you can focus on building the startup that will actually help you earn money on the side. So it comes with a full landing page built out for you. It comes with the command bar. It comes with dark mode and light mode. It comes with the ability to help you send emails, right? So let's say you're trying to send like forget password emails, you're sending transactional emails. You can do that all through the starter kit. There is file storage built in using S3, so we've set up everything for you. You just have to go into AWS, create the bucket, and put in the bucket name and keys into our env files, and that should automatically create the functionality for you to upload files. We have AI integrations, so you can ask the chatbot anything. Hello, how are you? And we have rate limiting set up so that you don't have to spam the endpoints, right? So everything here is set up, right? Everything's set up. You can see that email sending is rate limited to 3 requests per day per user. So we also include Redis for your caching needs. We got billing using Stripe, and we have detailed instructions on how to set all of this up. You got the profile details using Clerk, and you got all this bunch of resources that's coming up. So if you're looking to make a side project, MicroSaaS, that will help you reach 5K a month, don't hesitate to just use this starter kit. And right now there's a special discount that I'm offering that will allow you to just get it for a very, very low price of $47. So it's gonna be a short time offer. If you are interested, don't forget to just come to startsaas.com and purchase a kit, and you can be personally added into an exclusive Discord community where I'll be answering all your questions and guiding you through scaling your MicroSaaS up to $5,000 a month. So with all that, thank you so much for watching and have a good day.